The story, chapter 15, God's messengers. Then I heard the voice of the Lord. He said, "Who will I send? Who will go for us?" I said, "Here am I. Send me." Isaiah 6, verse 8. The kings of Israel were evil. They no longer loved God or listened to him and his law. So God found a new way to talk to people. He selected good people to be his prophets, his messengers. He spoke to them directly, and then they spoke his exact words to the people of Israel. Over the next 208 years, God sent 9 prophets to speak to the people for him. Courageous prophet. A wild-looking man from the desert stormed into the palace and announced to King Ahab, "The one true God of Israel has sent me to tell you that there will be no rain until he decides to send it. Years of drought are ahead." Elijah was a prophet of God. He was the voice of goodness and the voice of God. Evil King Ahab and his wife Jezebel were angry at Elijah. They wanted to kill him, but God kept him safe. "Go to the Kerith ravine on the other side of the Jordan River," said God to Elijah. "Stay there and be safe." Elijah trusted God. He ran to the brook in the ravine and camped there for a long time. Every morning and evening, God sent ravens with bread and meat for Elijah, so he never went hungry. Elijah rested, waiting for God to direct him. Finally, God told Elijah to speak again to Ahab. When Ahab saw Elijah coming, he said, "So it's you. You are the reason we have had no rain." "The drought was your fault, not mine," replied Elijah. "You turned away from God and worshiped the false god, Baal." Elijah challenged Ahab, "If you don't believe me, let's see whose God is the true God." Ahab eagerly accepted the challenge. He gathered all the people and all the priests of Baal at Mount Carmel. There, Elijah explained the test. They would see whose God could start a fire on an altar. The Baal priests prepared an altar and prayed to Baal for fire. Nothing happened. The priests prayed all morning long. No fire. They whooped and hollered, jumping up and down, begging Baal for fire. But nothing happened. Finally, Elijah took his turn. To make the challenge even harder, he drenched the altar with water. Elijah prayed, "O God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, show these people that you are the one true God." Immediately, fire from heaven burned up the altar, and the people fell on their knees in worship. "Now God will send rain," Elijah announced. Soon the sky turned black with storm clouds. The wind blew and rain poured down on the dry and thirsty ground. Elisha, man of miracles. When Elijah's work on earth was over, God took him to heaven in a spectacular, fiery chariot. As his friend Elisha watched, the chariot rose higher and higher, disappearing into the clouds. Elisha picked up Elijah's cloak. "Now that my friend is gone, it is my job to be God's voice to the people." There was plenty of work for Elisha to do. People were sick and hungry, but God had given Elisha great power, so the prophet was able to do many miracles that helped the people. One day, a military commander named Naaman came to Elisha for healing. Naaman had a skin disease called leprosy. No medicine could heal him. Elisha told Naaman to wash himself in the Jordan River 7 times to be healed. Naaman thought the idea was silly, but his friends persuaded him to do as Elisha had instructed. Naaman dipped himself in the river 7 times. His skin was just like new. The miracle convinced Naaman that the God Elisha served was the one true God.